Let me look into your face as I want to say this one. I lost composure in how I said that. Let me look into your face. Branding doesn't have to be fine, right? Aesthetics is good. It's fine. It's okay. But it's not all branding that has to be fine. The most important thing your branding should help you achieve is function, like helping you achieve a set objective. You want to go this way. Can the design that you have done help you go that way? Can the design that you have done help you achieve that objective? Then you are doing branding right. Not all branding will be fine. And that is what I'm going to be talking about today. And if you don't turn the dial, you're going to get to hear me talk about my mind in the next couple of minutes. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, by the way. Yes. Yeah. Branding doesn't have to be fine. Like aesthetics is really important depending on what you're building. But at different points. I think I need to put a caveat that some things needs to look fine. But I'm just saying that if all you understand about building your brand is doing fine stuff, then there's a problem somewhere. Because sometimes, right, how you need to build like strong relationships with the people you are targeting is that you're showing some level of crack in the story, right? There's a hero that had an issue, solved a problem, and now becomes a hero, right? But who was maybe not even a hero before time. Like I said, branding doesn't have to be fine. Maybe I need to start with like a caveat. Now a lot of things is happening digitally. Aesthetics, beauty, and a whole lot of those stuff is like really important. However, what I'm saying is if you put all your focus, right, if your understanding of branding comes from the perspective of good looking, fine, then you may be missing out on several other important details of building a solid brand, right? Because sometimes, like the grace to grass story or grass to grace story is like an important part of building solid connection with your target audience. And that's why sometimes you are seeing some very rich musicians now that are claiming that they are from poor because they want to get fans, right? I mean, and it's just what it is. Sometimes you need the crack. Sometimes you need a hero that had an issue, solved the problem, and now becomes a hero. Like a hero that was previously not a hero, had an issue, climbed the grace to grace story, grass to grace story, and now becomes like something as a result of using your product, right? Sometimes it is showing BTS, the rough patches, the challenges that you encountered before you got to become what you are now, right? Sometimes it's also even like showing the first code, how rough it was, or even just pushing out the product and saying that this product is going to be something that we build together, right? First, it is functional, it is doing the work, right? But in terms of beauty, I want to bring you into this situation so we decide how this design is going to look. There are like a lot of dynamics to the whole situation that if you are not looking at branding from the perspective of fine, you are going to enjoy. This thing struck me one day. I was going for a run in a particular place and I stumbled on a signboard design that was not so good looking, but was very functional based on the things that were on the signboard. I was like, the people in this area are going to use this guy as their tailor. Why? And if he even has like solid, fine branding, good colors, images, and so on and so forth, the people in that area are not going to patronize him because he would have branded himself out of reach. Right? Because when they see that, they think that this guy is going to be expensive, right? And as a result of the fact that people think you're expensive, they are not now going to work with you. And if the area that you are in, right, is a place that has people of a certain level of earning capacity, and you have now overbranded yourself, what happens is that the people that are above may not come to you because you don't have enough to convince them. The people that are below, that are supposed to come to you, cannot come because they think that you are out of reach. Then you are now in a conundrum because you are now poorly branded. To just bring it back, right? Branding, design, and several other things in that league is around achieving set objectives. Design doesn't have to be fine. Branding doesn't have to be fine. What exactly do you want to do? What do you need to do to get it done? How do you need to look to achieve a set objective? What do people need to feel based on what you want to achieve at that time T that will get you what you need to get to, right? Function trumps design more often than not. However, if you now have function and have good design and you are appropriate for context, then you have hit the jackpot. You have function, have good design, and you're appropriate for context, you have hit the jackpot. So, I'm not saying that you should not be fine, you should not be beautiful. I mean, so sometimes, but I'm trying to remember the last time I just decided to download an app or use the service just because it was fine, right? At a level, that works, but at another level, it becomes like there are several other things that needs to be added to the mix to ensure that this thing is successful. That's why sometimes it's been not so easy, although now it's becoming a little bit easier, but historically, it's not been like the easiest to be able to connect branding to business success because there are a lot that happens that branding and design cannot take solely responsibility for, right? It has to be complemented with several other things. And this is where function comes in. So if this looks this way, what does it achieve? Who has to design it? What has to be designed? Like, those are some of the questions that you need to answer when it comes to this conversation. But I don't think I want to talk so long on this, but what I really want to say is branding, especially for those of us in this part, Sub-Saharan Africa, which is like a place I am very, very particular about. Some people are looking for fine when they should just even first enter the markets, right? Some people are looking for, some people think branding is packaging, looking good, looking sweet, looking fine, and so they are not even sharing their BTS that possibly would have connected their target audience to them. Some people are looking for things to be too fine or to look so good before they launch into the market, right? Like, it's so, like, I mean, yes, I know everybody says there's some beauty that is not in the eyes of the beholder, but most beauties are in the eyes of the beholder, right? It's just really important, especially when it comes to building and sustaining your business and connecting to people. What you may need to connect to your people may not be what is generally acceptable as the definition of fine. Find your fine. Find what you need to define as fine that will give you the money or give you the reach or give you the mileage that you need. Maybe your originality is what is going to be your core. Maybe how you present yourself that is not even the acceptable level of standing or branding or finesse or fine is going to be what is needed. Maybe the simplicity of your or cleanliness or what's the word? Maybe the simplicity, cleanliness, or minimalist of your design is what is going to change the dynamics. Understand your people, set an objective, ensure that it's appropriate for the context, and then go for it. I'm saying that if you are not focused on seeing branding from the perspective of fine or not fine, and seeing fine or not fine as part of the branding process, yes, you're up to something. I mean, if you're even building a digital product now, it's really important that aesthetics comes to play. But understanding how you define fine or what is acceptable is where I think that you should come back and understand your people and then build for them. I'm strongly on the place of minimalist for a lot of things. So let me even just share so it doesn't look as if I'm against on the other side. There are a lot of rebrands that have happened recently and people have questioned, and maybe I'm possibly in support of the rebrands. However, I think it's just a good place to say that branding, design doesn't have to be fine. It just has to work. And sometimes what works will be fine, but you need to find out if what is working is fine for you before you even assume that definition of fine is what is appropriate for the business or the brand that you are running. Thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful. I'm happy to take questions, happy to engage in conversations in this regard. My name is Okoyemi Olumimi.